Dear students, today we are going to start organometallics, an important reagents for carbon-carbon bond formation in organic synthesis. This is your fourth unit of paper 1. I have divided this course into different modules. In present module, that is module 1, we will discuss organomagnesium reagents, their preparation and its various applications towards organic transformations. During designing this course, I have tried to give you a flavor of both the questions that are usually being asked in your MSc curriculum, and also I have tried to put some questions from previous year's CSR NET and GATE exam papers. I hope you will enjoy learning of this organometallics. Let's start. So far, you have learned the you have aware about the different branches of chemistry, very well known and uh, highly explored branch of chemistry, which is known as organic chemistry. In organic chemistry, we usually deals with the covalent bond system, having rigid coordination geometries, and these organic compounds, the central atom or atoms which are associated together usually has have fixed oxidation states. However, the second most important branch, which is known as inorganic or coordination chemistry, where mainly we observed the ionic bonds, because in inorganic system most of the uh, elements are metallic in nature. So whenever they form bonds with non-metals, the bonds are mainly ionic bonds. They are very versatile and often functional coordination geometries they have. The central atom of coordination compounds or most of the inorganic compounds bears the multiple oxidation states. So the question comes in our mind: what is organometallic chemistry and what are organometallic compounds? To answer these questions, organometallic compounds are usually, you can say, they are sandwich compounds of organic chemistry as well as inorganic chemistry. These compounds having carbon metal bonds, and the study of applications of these organometallic compounds in organic synthesis is known as organometallic chemistry. Since in organometallic chemistry we have to deal with carbon metal bonds, therefore it can be easily recognized that the carbon atom which is associated directly with the metal will have negative charge, or we can call it carbanionic character. The formation of carbon-carbon bond is a major component of organic synthesis. Introduction of new functional groups that are compatible with existing functional groups, and also uh, with the reagent that are necessary to complete the transformations, uh, can make the process more complex. So the carbon-carbon bond formation process is not a very simple process. During these carbon-carbon bond formation reactions, we have to uh, keep in our mind various factors like problem associated with regioselectivity, problem associated with stereoselectivity, chemoselectivity, and even absolute configuration of stereogenic center. These kind of problem must be addressed while we discuss about the carbon-carbon bond formation. The most fundamental process for carbon-carbon bond formation, by which you all are very well aware, that is the reaction between the nucleophilic and electrophilic carbon. Apart from this, you can have some carbon-carbon bond formation reactions in pericyclic reactions or radical mediated reactions. So if we look various carbon-carbon bond formation reactions, we would come across with the condensation reactions, where we have discussed various types of condensation reactions like aldol condensation, Lowengel condensation, Claisen condensation, even Perkins reaction, and so many types this kind of reactions we have already discussed in your previous course or undergraduate course. Similarly, C alkylation reactions can also be performed by a polarized carbon, where carbon may be electronegative or electropositive, so it can interact with the oppositely charged carbon atom of another molecule, or within the same molecule, so that a new carbon-carbon bond can be formed. In pericyclic reactions, new carbon-carbon bond formation reactions we have discussed uh, in 2 plus 2 cycloaddition, 4 plus 2 cycloaddition, which is also known as Diels-Alder reaction, various olefinogen reactions that also leads the formation of carbon-carbon bond, like Wittig reaction, Peterson's reaction, and Julia olefination, etc. Another class of compound which can be used for carbon-carbon bond formation are the compounds having active methyl or active methylene centers carbon. In active methyl or active methylene compounds, the acidic proton is the key source for carbon-carbon bond formation process. In presence of base, the acidic proton can be abstracted so that carbanion species uh, can be generated in the form of enolate ions, and that enolate ion further utilized for the formation of carbon-carbon bond. Another class of reaction where you can find the carbon-carbon bond formation processes, that are reactions involving organometallics. This point will be the focus point of current study. So we'll focus on the reaction involving organometallics in context of carbon-carbon bond formation. In organometallics, usually we deal with the carbon having negative charge, and that's why we call it carbanion. So before going to organometallics, let us have some recap where we can find the involvement of different carbanions for carbon-carbon bond formation. Carbanion which has carbon with negative charge. Apart from the conventional carbanion, two most important and most widely used carbanion for carbon-carbon bond formations are: one is cyanide ion, or we call it nitrile carbanion. Another is the acetylenic anion. These two are very versatile reagents for carbon-carbon bond formation. Let us have a look on these two reagents. The cyanide ion, which is a good leaving group that reacts with substrates to generate a new carbon-carbon bond. It displaces the leaving group via SN2 mechanism. It is it is a very versatile functional group because it has a triple bond. So we can convert this triple bond into different functional groups. Like if we can reduce it to corresponding amines, you can convert it into amide, carboxylic acid, carbonyl groups, etc. So by insertion of this nitrile group on any uh, organic molecule, different functionality can be generated. Since This nucleophile follows SN2 mechanism. So as we know, the SN2 mechanism is mostly favored in 1 degree and 2 degree substrates. Therefore, this kind of nucleophile can give best results with 1 degree substrate. Where, however, if we use such nucleophile with 2 degree substrate, uh, product with poor yields can be obtained. Being an SN2 mechanism, so this mechanism will follow, will be favored by polar aprotic solvent like DMSO, THF, and DMF, uh, so that the more yield of the product can be obtained. Although cyanide group is a very versatile nucleophilic group for carbon-carbon bond formation. However, it is restricted only one carbon homologation. While looking to the other carbanionic source, that is acetylenic anion, this acetylenic anion is basically uh, obtained from the reaction of terminal alkynes with a strong base, because we know that the terminal alkynes are acidic in nature, since this carbon, both the triple bonded carbon are sp hybridized. So being more s character of these carbons are becomes electronegative, so that if hydrogen is attached over here, so that hydrogen will become electropositive. But the acidity of alkynes are very poor, so that if we if you want to abstract proton from this terminal alkyne, we have to use a strong base. Thus, when terminal alkynes reacts with strong base, they will generate the acetylenic anion. These acetylenic anions are also a good source of nucleophile for carbon-carbon bond formation. As I said, the acidity of terminal alkynes is the key of their utility in carbon-carbon bond formation. This reagent also follows SN2 mechanism. They can react with alkyl halide. They can react with carbonyl electrophilic carbon of carbonyl groups, acyl derivatives, sulfurant esters, etc. This acetylenic anion can also serve as an important carbanion source, carbanion for and synthon in retrosynthesis. So while we'll discuss the retrosynthetic analysis or disconnection approach, in that particular course, we'll go in more detail of regarding this point, where this kind of acetylenic carbanion serves as synthon. Now coming to this anionic source of nitrile anion or acetylenic anion, look at some examples. In this example, you can generate a new CC bond. Here we have hydroxy group, which is converted into corresponding nitrile. So a new CC bond is formed over here. So how can be this new CC bond is formed? In this example, OH group is not a good leaving group. Therefore, we have to convert this OH group into a good leaving group by forming a tosyl derivative of this alcohol by reacting it with tosyl chloride in presence of pyridine, so that this OH group will convert into OTS. When this tosylate of this alcohol reacts with cyanide ion, which is a good nucleophile, then this cyanide C negative will interact with this carbon, which is having a good leaving group OTS. Then this leaving group will depart, and uh, this carbon-carbon bond will form. Similarly, the acidity of terminal alkynes can also be utilized for formation of carbon-carbon bond. In this example, this carbon is having a hydrogen, and this is a terminal alkyne. Therefore, this terminal hydrogen of the terminal alkyne will be acidic in nature. Butyl lithium, will behave as a strong base. Therefore, it will abstract this proton and generate an acetylenic anion. That acetylenic anion, C negative, will interact with this carbon, which is electrophilic in nature and having a good leaving group. So it will give you a coupled product. Similarly, in this example, the carbonyl aldehydic group will first reacts with the CBr4 in PPS3. It is a Wittig type reaction. It is known as Corey-Fuss reaction. Here also you can see CC bond formation. In substrate we have 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon. However, in product we have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 carbon. So one new carbon bond is formed over here. So first this is an olefination reaction. After olefination reaction, in second step, the elimination takes place, which results the formation of this triple bond. The detailed mechanism of this reaction we will discuss while we will discussing the organolithium compounds in coming modules. In this example, again this alkyne have an acidic proton. So the base will abstract this proton, generate carbanion, which is a nucleophile. This nucleophile will open this epoxide ring at less hindered position, and it will give you this new compound having a carbon-carbon bond. So far, you have seen that the acidity of terminal alkynes is an important source for carbon and carbon-carbon bond formation. However, if we want to prepare a Grignard reagent with this terminal alkyne, in first step, in initial process, you can get the Grignard reagent over here. Magnesium will uh, uh, take up this bromide and it will insert itself into between this carbon halogen carbon bromine bond to give you a Grignard reagent. However, this Grignard reagent in subsequent steps migrates from this carbon to the terminal carbon to give you propionyl magnesium bromide. Instead of giving this kind of Grignard reagent, we'll get this type of Grignard reagent. So this kind of problems are associated with terminal alkynes. Therefore, while using these terminal alkynes for new carbon-carbon bond formation, we have to look this kind of issues, and after fixing these issues, then we have to move forward. Now coming to the organometallic compounds and their chemistry, as I said, organometallic compounds are those which have metal carbon bond like this. This is a simple covalent organic molecule where carbon is attached with some uh, more electronegative atom. Therefore, carbon will have electropositive character. However, in organometallic compounds, carbon will attach to more electropositive. Therefore, carbon will be having partial negative character or negative charge. Thus, the polarity is reversed in organometallic in compared to the normal uh, organic molecules. This CM bond is polarized covalent bond. Therefore, they are highly reactive. This polarized covalent bond can be easily uh, breakable under reaction conditions. And the reactivity of this bond increases with the ionic character of this bond. These kind of organometallic compounds are a good source of carbon ionic species. Now look at the electronegativity versus and ionic character of different metal carbon bond. In this slide, we have demonstrated that different elements, first we have kept different elements, their electronegativity negativity, and ionic character. With respect to carbon, we have placed all these elements. Lithium having electronegativity 0.98, carbon having electronegativity 2.55. So we can calculate the ionic character by taking the difference of electronegativity and divided the this difference by electronegativity of carbon. Psi c is the electronegativity of carbon, Xi m is the electronegativity of metal, and if we calculate this value in terms of percentage, so if we have carbon lithium bond, then the polarity or ionic character of that carbon lithium bond, depending on the electronegativity difference of these two elements, will be 61%. Similarly, this is less electronegative, or we can say it is more electropositive. Therefore, compared to carbon, therefore ionic character will be more. Potassium is more electropositive than lithium and sodium, as well as this carbon. Therefore, the Kc bond will have 68% of ionic character. Similarly, we can calculate the percentage ionic character of all kind of metal carbon bond by replacing this metal by giving elements and calculating their electronegativity difference. And with the help of this relation, we can calculate the percentage ionic character of this metal carbon bond. Percentage ionic character of metal carbon bond is the key source of reactivity of that particular organometallic compounds. Therefore, we can see over here, in case of platinum carbon bond, the electronegativity difference is very less. Therefore, percent ionic character is very less. We can call this platinum carbon bond is very less ionic or somehow covalent in nature. The electronegativity we have mentioned over here is based on Pauling scale. In this course, we will discuss the important organometallic compounds, which are organolithium, organomagnesium, organosilicon, organotin, organoborane, organotitanium, organonickel, organocopper, zinc, mercury, palladium, platinum, etc. So these are the most important or common organometallic compounds uh, that has to be discussed in this course. In previous discussion, we have discussed about what is organometallic chemistry, what are organometallic compounds, the applications of different nucleophilic carbons, for example, cyanide anion or acetylic anion in carbon-carbon bond formation. We have also discussed some of the reactions that involve the carbon-carbon bond formation using uh, C triple bond N anion and acetylic anion. Today, we are going to start with this Grignard reagent. In continuation of the previous lecture, the Grignard reagent, which is discovered by Victor Grignard, he reported this Grignard reagent in 1900, and for his breakthrough, he awarded with the Nobel Prize in 1912. The Grignard reagent, which is usually known as RMGX, is formed by the reaction of magnesium metal with an alkyl or aryl halide in ethereal solvent under non-aqueous condition. As shown here, the CBr bond, which is partially polar, halogen bearing electronegative character, carbon is electropositive. Therefore, magnesium uh, insert itself in between this carbon halogen bond to form ethyl magnesium bromide, and it results the change in polarity of carbon from carbon positive to carbon negative. The reaction was first discovered in 1899 by Vervier, although at that particular time the nature of that reaction was not understood very well. This is the Brevier's reaction. 1,5-enone when he reacted with magnesium in ethereal solution and added methyl iodide. After hydrolysis, he obtained a methylated product and with new CC bond formation. This conversion was later known as Barbier's reaction or Barbier's coupling. Now we will discuss the preparation of Grignard reagent. As I said in previous slide, the Grignard reagent can be prepared by reaction of alkyl or aryl halides with magnesium metal in presence of ethereal solvent under non-aqueous conditions. Usually we need activated magnesium turnings to produce the corresponding alkyl or aryl uh, magnesium uh, halide Grignard reagent. Instead of using this activated magnesium turning, you can use the Reiki magnesium. And what is Reiki magnesium? It is highly reactive form of magnesium with high surface area. So uh, when we break down this magnesium metal into small particles like a powder form, so that become highly reactive, and the particle will have the large surface area. So MgCl2, which is a salt, when it reacts with lithium in THF in naphthalene solvent, so you will get particle magnesium, which is known as Reiki magnesium. When this magnesium, the Reiki magnesium, interacts with alkyl halide to give you corresponding Grignard reagent. Coming to the properties of Grignard reagent, Grignard reagent cannot be isolated using this preparation protocol. In solution, Grignard reagent is not in the simple monomeric species like we usually use in reactions or even our conventional writing, that is RMGX. However, the formation of this RMGX proceeds by a single electron transfer process. However, uh, no free radical was detected during the formation of this Grignard reagent. Now, as I said that Grignard reagent is not a simple monomeric species. So it exists in a series of equilibrium, which is known as Slang's equilibrium. Here you can see this RMGX first first exist in equilibrium with R2Mg dialkyl magnesium and magnesium dihalide. Then sometimes it also exists in R2MgX2. So these three are frequently existing species or existing forms of Grignard reagent. The dimer 4 and 5 were also observed in ether solution. However, this equilibrium is more complex in ether than it is in THF. So, while using organometallics, we have to uh, we have to think about the solvent which we are using for the particular reaction. As you can see, if we use ether for any application of Grignard reagent in ethereal solution, this equilibrium become more complex in comparison to tetrahydrofuran when we use for the solvent purpose. Ether Ethereal solvents usually stabilizes the Grignard reagent uh, by forming a Lewis acid based charge transfer complex. You can see over here. This is a Grignard reagent. When we use this Grignard reagent in ethereal solvent, so it can form a charge transfer kind of complex, so that this ethereal solvent stabilizes this alkyl magnesium halide uh, uh, by forming a charge transfer complex. This kind of coordination with ether also assist in the initial methyl migration, while uh, process progress of reaction when methyl magnesium metal migrates from this Grignard reagent to some other atoms. So this kind of complex formation or coordination uh, assist the migration of uh, this kind of magnesium from reagent to some other species and minimizes the decomposition of Grignard reagent via disproportionation. The CBr bond of aryl or vinyl, as shown in this example, this is a vinyl magnesium halide. So the CBr bond of aryl or vinyl bromide is stronger than analogous CBr bond in alkyl halide. Thus, strong base and basic solvent like THF is needed. While the formation of this Grignard reagent, if we are forming a Grignard reagent uh, by the reaction of alkyl halide with magnesium in ether, uh, and simultaneously when we form a Grignard reagent with the reaction of vinyl halide with magnesium in ether, in that particular case, the aryl or vinyl halide bond is more stronger bond. Therefore, in compared to alkyl halide, CBr bond in alkyl halide, therefore, to break this aryl or vinyl carbon halogen bond, we need to use a stronger basic solvent like THF to form the Grignard reagent. Since the carbon of Grignard reagent is negatively charged, carbanionic in nature, therefore uh, reacts as nucleophile, and it is also a very uh, good base. And the basicity of Grignard reagent is one of the important factor uh, in their reactions with electrophilic compounds. We'll see in later course of this topic where we'll discuss the various reactions of Grignard reagent with electrophilic carbon center. A glimpse of the reactions of organo uh, magnesium compounds or Grignard reagent with different functional groups is shown in this slide. In coming module, we'll discuss these reactions one by one. Just for your understanding, you can see that this R component of the Grignard reagent electronegative carbanionic character. Therefore, it will interact with this electrophilic carbon to give you alcohol. This is formaldehyde. When it interacts with formaldehyde, you will get primary alcohol. When it interacts with acetaldehyde, you will get secondary alcohol. Reaction with ketone, you will get tertiary alcohol. Ester, since in ester you have a good leaving group over here, therefore you will give it is a two-step process. So you will get a tertiary alcohol as a final product with the elimination of some alcohol molecule. Similarly, this Y is a good leaving group again. Whenever you have this kind of species where a leaving group is there, maybe it may be Cl, it may be any ether ester group, or it may be any other good leaving group. So you will end up this reaction with the formation of ketone. Similarly, reaction of Grignard reagent with amide, you will get again corresponding carbonyl compound. These green colored groups are good leaving group. So it is a simple addition elimination kind of reaction. First nucleophilic addition, then elimination. So you will get the another carbon carbon bond formation reactions over here. Reaction with carbon dioxide leads to formation of carboxylic acid. Reaction with conjugated enone, this is conjugated enone. If you react this Grignard reagent with conjugated enone in presence of uh, cerium third, you will get 1,2 addition. However, if we react Grignard reagent with conjugated enone in presence of copper 1 salt, we will get 1,4 addition. So this is just an idea of how this Grignard reagent is important for various functional group transformations. In coming module, that is module 2, we will discuss the reactions of Grignard reagent in organic synthesis. All these reactions will take one by one. with some other advanced examples. So till then, uh, whatever literature you have, just go through the topics we have discussed and try to understand uh, uh, the chemistry of organometallics, the basics of organometallics. In next module, we'll discuss the reaction of Grignard reagent.